everyone, welcome back to the Midwest Stitches YouTube channel. My name is Danielle, and this is my channel all about knitting, crocheting, sewing, and any other craft I might get up to. You can find me on Instagram at midwest.stitches or on Ravelry at Midwest Stitches or on my website at midweststitches.com. Today is January 5th. Friday, January 5th, and this is episode 40. I am hosting a year-long make-along. It's called, and I'll put the hashtag here at the bottom, it's Made from Stash 2024. So I talked about this quite a bit in episodes over the last year about how I'm really wanting to buy less because I have so much and really use what I have. So that's what I've decided for this year. And the rules are really simple. It's just anything you bought previous to January 1st of this year that was already in your stash, it counts. You don't have to finish anything. If you are working on a scrappy blanket or just a long-term project in general, if you work on it throughout the year, tag me and use the hashtag MadeFromStash2024 on Instagram, and that's how I'm going to draw winners. But you have to use the hashtag and tag me just because of the way that I'm going to be drawing winners from the posts. And I think I'm going to do monthly winners, at least one. And it just makes it easier if I'm tagged in the photos to go through because, Instagram no longer lets you see things chronologically for hashtags. It's whatever's the most popular, which is super annoying. So it would be hard for me to draw monthly winners since I can't see, chronologically what was done. So just make sure you do that if you want to enter and participate for prizes. I'm going to be giving away some project bags for prizes, special ones, like one-of-a-kinds. For that, I got some prizes donated from various friend makers on Instagram and other knitter friends. So if you want to see the list of prizes, I have a highlight bubble underneath in my profile or whatever, you know where that's at. And that will list all of the prizes so far. And if I get more donated, then I will, make a slide for those and you'll see those in there. So those will be given away throughout the year as well. There's some patterns, some project bags from another maker, which is awesome, and a gift card to a shop, just some various things. So check that out if you want to see what prizes are available so far for you to possibly win. So that's basically, it for the stash mail. It's not even just yarn. So I wanted to say that too. I'm including my fabric stash in this because I want to think of more creative ways to use up some of the scraps that I have, and even the full bits that I have, the bigger ones. And I've already got some ideas brewing besides just project bags or notiony things. So fabric counts too, cross stitch, embroidery, whatever you have, it counts. So I guess you just have to have an Instagram page to be able to win because that's where I'm drawing the winners from. And I also created a private Facebook group I created it for the intention of the stash mail, but I think really it's just going to be open, all the time. But this group specifically, it is private, and you can find the link in my Instagram to be able to join. It's in the link tree thing. You can see that in there. And the only rules I really have for this group are obviously, be kind, be courteous, all that kind of stuff. But one of the things you have to agree to is that there are no promotions allowed. No sales, no ads, no promotions of shops, which includes my own. And I wanted to put that rule in the group to allow us, to include myself, to not be tempted to buy things because someone said, oh, they're having a project bag update or a yarn update or whatever. If that's your intention for this, so that group won't be a place where you're tempted to buy things that maybe you don't need or that aren't in your budget for this year or whatever. I am allowing people to say the yarns from so-and-so, or if they have a picture of a project bag, they can say where it's from. That's fine. But, you know, if you have a shop, whether it's yarn, project bags, whatever, there won't be any promotion posts allowed. And like I said, that includes my own. So if I make stuff throughout the year to sell, and I'll talk about that later, I won't be posting it in there. So if you're wanting a private place where you can just show off your making, and communicate with other people who are working through a stash mal, and just kind of, you know, bounce ideas off of each other or whatever, have that kind of community where you're not being tempted to purchase things, then head over there and ask to join the group. We're about 30 members so far, so that's super exciting. That's it for the stash mal. There are so many make-alongs going on regarding stash this year, so I don't know if everybody had the same idea, and they're all named something a little bit different. Some are just for scraps, and most of them are year-long, so there's a lot that you could, you know, participate in for mals and like quadruple dip. There's one for dishcloths only for the year, so if cotton yarn is in your stash and you're wanting to make pot holders or dishcloths or towels or whatever, you know, that would count for mine, that would count for this one. There's just so many. So just, you know, peruse around on Instagram, and if you follow some people, I'm sure you've seen their posts about their make-alongs. I also did a destash of my yarn and project bags. There are still some left if you're interested, at a discounted price. They were yarns that I purchased that I don't love the base, or I know I'm not going to use them. And so there's, I want to say like, you know, 10, 15, you know, skeins varying from 50 grams to 100 grams. There's a couple sock sets in there, and there's also some commercial yarn still left. So if you are looking for some destash, go and check that out. If, you know, you're still buying for this year, if that's your thing. I'm not promoting a no buy for anybody. And then the project bags were from my personal collection. They were ones that, you know, I always tried to keep like one of every, you know, from every collection that I released so far since I started my shop. And some of them I just never used, or I didn't love the style or something like that. So I decided to go ahead and put those up for sale. And there's three postings on my website, one for project bags, and it tells you what type they are and what size. And then for the yarn, I have a post for commercial yarn, and then I have a post for indie dyed yarn. So it's really easy to navigate. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below or shoot me an email about that. That's enough of all of the admin-y type things. Let's get into the knitting. So my first finished object, I have quite a few. And I'm going to put a picture up here because I already gifted them. They were for Adrian. I gave them to him for our anniversary. And they were the DK breaking yarn bleeding walt socks that I made. And he loved them. And I did 20 rounds for the cuff, 40 rounds for the leg. And yeah, this was awesome. This was awesome about these. I hadn't done that particular formula for the cuff and the leg before, but when I was done, I had less than 10 grams left. So that was great. So that really used up a lot of the yarn, and he really likes them. He says they fit really well, so yay. I know how long to make DK weight socks now for the next time, because I haven't knit a whole lot of DK socks, but trying to figure out what would use up the most amount of yarn, but still, you know, be a comfortable length. Not everybody likes super long socks. So yeah, there's those. That's my first finished object. And I finished those, I think, a couple days before our anniversary. So it was like close to the second week in December. My next finished object are a pair of socks, of course. And these I started, I don't remember, sometime in December. Here they are. These are, this is Daisy Stitch Co. Home for the Holidays. And I actually got this last year. If you remember, she dyed her Christmas, I have a hair on there. She dyed her Christmas collection to match the bags I made last year. So that was super fun. And I actually have herself striping in this color to knit up still. So those will be coming sometime in the next year, but I love the colors. It pooled like that. See, that one's more stripy with the pooling, and this one's more like a color block. So very fun. Loved working these up. I did my normal shorty pattern. You guys know the drill for those. Okay, so my next pair of finished socks are my Cozy, I almost said Cozy Knitter Advent. This is not the Cozy Knitter Advent. This is the Freckled Whimsy Advent skein from 2023. And my socks do not match, so I'm going to try and hold these up and show you, there we go, that's kind of, there, that they don't match. So here we go. It did come, I ordered the one with the brown, with the mini, and it was brown instead of undyed. So there we go. And these were a lot of fun. I actually started these and then I kind of paused midway through December because I just wasn't loving the way they were working up. And I don't know why. To me, these aren't really Christmassy colors, and they don't have to be. But the colorway was called Hearth and Home. So it's definitely got those Hearth and Home vibes in the colors, but I was just wanting Christmassy yarn, you know, like Christmas colored yarn. So that's why I cast on these. So I finished those, and then I went back to these and powered through and finished them. So there's those, and now I can wear all these. That's the best part. And I have one more finished object to show you that I just completed this past week, I think. Something like that. Yeah, it was after the new year. I wanted these done before the new year, but whatever. So this is technically my first finished object for the Made from Stash 2024 Mal. And here they are. This is Legacy Fiber Arts in the colorway called A Very Crooked Christmas. And it's a beautiful speckled yarn. And even the toe, like the mini, is speckled. And I loved that. So I've never ordered from Legacy Fiber Arts before, and I ordered quite a few from her in the last month that you'll see over time. Or them. It's a mother-daughter team. And I love the yarn. I love it. They have beautiful speckled yarn. And I believe this is named after their farm. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, but I think their farm is called A Very Crooked Farm. So I think that's where the name comes from. And yeah, they turned out so cute. And this was actually a micro sock set. So it was a 50 gram of the main color and then a 20 gram of the mini. And that's one of the things that like drew me in and made me want to order the amount of yarn that I did. And I ordered a lot of micro sock sets. Actually, most of it, except for one, was micro sock sets. And that, to me, I know not every shop can offer that, depending on who your yarn supplier is, just various things for you, and that's totally fine. But for me, it's perfect. Now that I know that I love these shorties and they take up about 50 grams or less, it's usually about 45 for the whole pair. A micro sock set or a 50 gram skein is just the perfect amount for me. I don't have a lot of leftovers. And what I do have left over is enough to put in a scrappy blanket, but it's not like 50 grams or 60 grams or something like that. So I really love that. And I can't wait to work with more of their yarn. That leads us to works in progress. And I have a few to talk about. Okay, so I'm going to show you my cowl. Okay, so my Wallup Cowl, I guess I'm calling it that. I'm not using anything from the pattern, but I guess that's the closest thing I can call it. So I have made quite a bit of progress since the last time, but not as much as I wanted. So here we are. I'm on the second color and into the first one after that. Look at that. This is called, what color is that? Oh, this is the Beast colorway. Isn't that? Oh, I love that. I love how it's looking. So we have Belle, then we have Beast, and you'll notice I switched needles. So, I hadn't pulled this out to work on it except the last couple of weeks, and it was just, I just didn't feel like working on it with the 16-inch circular. You know, you learn things about yourself and your style and all that kind of stuff over time. And for me, the circulars, while it may seem more common sense, I guess, to use them, you know, because you're just going round and round, and just to have a smaller circumference and you just go round and round and round. For me, all of the scooting, like the scooting of the stitches constantly, if you don't get it just right, you can't knit with the needle, so you have to scoot a little bit more back around, and it's, to me, it takes up so much more time. And my tension, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see it with those lights, but maybe in this section, it's all kind of wonky. And then I go up here, because I started using this magic loop with this color. It looks so much more even. Because what I can do is, when I'm knitting, I can just scoot all of the stitches, all of them on one side of the needle, and I can just whip through it and just knit around. So I'm actually working on it much faster, even with this longer cable. So this is a 47-inch. I probably could have gotten away with a 40, but it's nice to have a little bit of wiggle room, and it doesn't bother me. I just have to make sure it doesn't get snagged on anything and pull the needle out, because that would just be awful. So if you're finding, like, if you're working on like a muscle burrow, I'm definitely going to use these on my next muscle burrow hat. Or you're working on a cowl like this. If you're finding that the 16-inch circulars just aren't doing it for you, don't be afraid to switch. You know, even though everybody else they're working it on 16-inch circulars. To me, it's like 9-inch circular needles. My big fingers cannot work on 9-inch circulars. I tried, and there's hardly any needle to hold on to. I need more needle. I need more cable or space to work my socks. And it's the same for something like this. So, you know, a sweater would probably be different. But if I was doing a sweater, I would definitely magic loop the sleeves, honestly. I know that's not everybody's choice, but like I said, you got to do what is most comfortable for you. And if you want to work a little faster, have more even tension, try out a few different methods with your projects, because it is making a world of difference for me. Like, this has me wanting to work on this a lot more. And I do anyway. I want to finish this up so I can wear it. But I'm working so much faster. I can whip through the rounds so much quicker, and that makes me want to get this done so I can cast on a muscle burrow hat I have, like, in my mental queue. So, yeah, you'll hopefully see way more progress on this the next time that I record. I'm hoping to be at least through the third color. There are 6 colors altogether. And I'm really hoping, and I think I can do it, that I can finish this by the end of the month. I think that's possible. So that's my goal, by January 31st, to have this done, stitched together, and able to wear it, because we are getting colder around here. Like, the temperatures have dropped, and you know, it's winter. Next is my jelly roll blanket. Guys, I finished the first strip. I was super excited about it. So I'm not going to unroll it all, but here it is. Here's my first strip all rolled up. There we go. This is zebra yarns. I'm making a whole blanket out of my zebra yarn stash. So this is the first strip. And my next one, I have not started yet. It will be out of this yarn, this Christmas yarn. That's just beautiful. I can't wait to see how this is going to work up, because I'm thinking, the fading, if it fades like this did, the stripes with the red and the green, oh, that's going to look so amazing. So for this, I was going to do the coordinating mini that came with this at the very end. But this strip is long enough to cover me from toe to about here by itself. So I decided that was long enough for a strip. So what I'm going to do with the solid colored, because there's quite a few solid colored minis that I have, I think I can get 2 strips out of the yarn from the minis. And I think I'm just going to put 1 on each side of the blanket. So it'll be, the ends of the blanket will have the solid color. So it'll be color blocks with those. We'll see. I haven't totally figured out just yet how that's going to work, but that's okay. And I think in total I will have about 8 strips, 7 or 8, I don't remember. But I think that will be a really good size kind of, you know, lap blanket, couch blanket, you know, just kind of a throw size. So I'm excited about that. I really do love this project. I was, not gonna lie, I was really resistant to jump on the Jelly Roll bandwagon because I'm like, you know, I just don't love the way some of those blankets look. But look, if you look at the project pages on Ravelry for how people do some of their Jelly Roll blankets, oh man, they are works of art. Like, they've strategically mapped out like how big their blocks are going to be. And some people do like a colored block, and then they do like a coordinating, like they'll have like a tan or a black or white or something that they do in between the colors, and then they kind of like stagger them through the strips, so it's kind of this checkerboard effect, and it is so cool. Or they've mapped it out where from like corner to corner, it's, you know, it's really neat. So if you need inspiration, if this is something you're kind of on the fence about, definitely go look at the project pages for people and what they did, because it's not just, you know, scrappy looking where you just do one color after the next. If that's not really your thing, I plan on doing one of those for sure. But if you want something more planned out, if that's more your style, you can definitely do that with this. And I love the knitting back and forth. To me, it's kind of like stockinette. You're just going round and round and round knitting, or a dishcloth, and it's your relaxing time. You don't have to think. You know, I will get into patterns eventually, I think, but I do love just some mindless, just knitting. I love that. I have one more work in progress. I started a new pair of socks from Stash, of course. And this, look at this cute bag I made. I made a bunch of project bags for myself over December, just for me, not for sale. But isn't that so cute? Oh, I love that so much. And I feel like this is not just a Christmas bag. This is like a winter bag, which is what I wanted. So, why is my light just not cooperating? There we go. So this is, oh, almost pulled out my needles. This is the Bougie New Year color. It is very bright. This is called Bougie New Year from Yarnable. And I've had this in my stash since it came out, and I think this was January 2022. So I knew I wanted to knit it up this year. That was on my mental list. I wanted to cast it on, and so I did. So I'm on the heel flap right now. I'm hoping to have those done maybe this weekend, to be honest with you, because that's my only sock project, and I love them. So I set a few yarn-related, scrap-related, fabric-related, you know, all of the Stash, made from Stash 2024 Mal goals. So finish the Jelly Roll blanket, finish the Granny blanket, and then I want to use up some or all of my cotton yarn. I have quite a bit of it, so I think that might be a stretch to think I could use it all. And I haven't made a lot of things with my cotton yarn, so I don't know how quickly it would work up. So once I kind of get a feel for, you know, a dishcloth or a pot holder or whatever projects I come up with, how much yarn they take, that will kind of tell me maybe I could work it all up. Who knows? So we'll go from there. I want to make lots of socks from Stash, and I have so many that I want to do, and really excited about that. And then find creative ways to use my fabric scraps. Obviously this doesn't include fabric. So I'm not tracking that, if you will. I'm just trying to use up more. Oh, I forgot one last thing. So I had a project I wanted to do. I had a stack of project bags that I didn't love the style. Some of them were zipper, some of them were drawstring, and those I just don't like them. Since I started making my snap bags, those are my favorite. Those are the only ones I want to use, and those are the only ones I want to keep for myself. I ripped out 11 project bags and re-put them together as snap bags, and here is the stack. I finished them yesterday. Put the snaps on them, and they're all done. And these are from just past collections, or yeah, most of them I think were past collections that I wanted to keep. And my favorite one is on top, and I will show you why. So this is my Grinch bag. I had this in a zipper, but I don't like the zipper, so I made it a snap bag. And I had ordered these last year. See these cute snaps? They're Grinch. Yeah, Cam Snap. I bought those from Cam Snap, a pack of them, and they no longer sell them, so I don't know if it's a seasonal thing, but they're not on their website. But they're cute little engraved Grinch faces, and I love it, so I have those on both sides. And that was a very tedious process, hurt my hands, hand muscles quite a bit, but I think it will be totally worth it because all of these prints are ones that I love, but I never reached for these because I don't like drawstring or zipper. I just don't. So yeah, I turned them into bags I will actually use. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to know what your goals are if you have any for this make along. Let's not stress about making goals. You don't have to make any, but if you have some, or just kind of a general idea of what you want to do for the year, let me know that too. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.